Hello and welcome to Shadowrun Rebuilt. Today I'm going to show you how to make a hostage mission in the Shadowrun Returns editor. If you haven't already seen the Harebrained Studios quick start tutorials for the editor, I highly recommend you go see those right now. They will be very helpful to you. Alright, so I've loaded up a map that I've created myself. We're going to start by creating a goal. So we're going to come down here and we're going to create a goal and we're going to call it Save the President. The President will be the hostage, obviously. Who else could it be? And then we're going to create two regions. So we're going to go over here. We're going to create a new region. And this one is going to be the hostage zone. Hostage zone. Okay, and we'll create another new region, and we will call it the safety zone. So the goal will be to get the hostages from this zone right here into this zone, and then we'll have a successful mission. Alright, next thing we need to do is we need to add some actors to the scene. So the first actors we'll add the players. Put one here. Put one here. And we want to change the second one to the second player spawn slot, and we'll give them somewhat descriptive names. Alright. And then you have to come up here and you have to go to show hiring screen at the start of the map to be able to hire this second player right here, and you want to increase the hiring slots to 1 so that they have room on their team to hire the second player. Okay, the next person we need to add is a hostage. So let's go ahead and add a hostage. You can use the actor spawner and change a bunch of settings, but for me the fastest way to get a NPC on the board was to use a merchant, so that's what I'm going to do right now. I've just dragged a merchant out onto the board, and the character's name is Dr. Sarah Castle, and so she will be our hostage for the mission. She's also the president, apparently, as I've decided. Alright, now that we have the actors, we need to add the triggers. So the first trigger, create the trigger, follow runner. Alright, oops. Alright, so when the runner enters this region, we want the hostage to start following the runner. Alright, so let's set that up. On region enter, when an actor enters the region, the hostage zone, if that runner, or if that actor is a Shadowrunner, so if the triggering actor is on Team Shadowrunner, we want to order an actor to protect an actor. There we go. Alright, so we want Sarah Castle to protect the triggering actor. Alright, so it seems kind of confusing, but we're going to go ahead and set Sarah Castle to non-combatant so that she doesn't attack anyone or do anything funny that we don't want her to do. She's just going to follow the triggering actor. That's exactly what we want. So we're going to create another trigger. It's going to be our success trigger, and we're successful if we get the hostage back to the safe zone. So when region enter, and this time we want safety zone, when an actor, alright, so we're going to compare if the triggering actor is the hostage, then we want to set the goal status of save the president to success. There we go, we've got our success. I'm going to create one more. Alright, this time we're going to do on actor death. If the actor that died is the hostage, then we're going to set the status of the goal to failure. If the hostage dies, then we failed our mission. Okay, so we've got a very bare bones mission here. We're going to go ahead, we're going to save it, and we're going to test it. I want to show you this one. Make sure you got hire main character selected. Here we go. It's loading. Okay. Alright, so we're going to hire some Shadowrunners. Doesn't matter which ones. There's not going to be a lot of action right now. So we've got our 2 Shadowrunners, and we're just going to run over and we're going to save the hostage real quick. Run, run, run. There's the hostage. We're going to enter this zone. So we've entered the zone, and now the hostage is protecting our character. We're going to lead the hostage back, and you'll notice that we run first. Once the Shadowrunners are done running, the hostage starts following. And we're going to come down here into the safety zone. And once the hostage gets into the safety zone, if everything's correct, then we'll get a mission success. There we go. Complete objective. Save the president. Awesome. Check mark. Okay, let's add some fancy stuff to this mission. Let's tell the runner what they're supposed to be doing. Let's help the runner out, show them where they're going, and after we've completed the mission, we can have the camera fade out. So let's add some fancy stuff. The first thing we're going to add is an intro conversation. So I've already created the conversation. It's really basic. It just tells the runner what they're doing. They're saving the president who's been kidnapped by ninjas. I'm going to need to create a new trigger to start this conversation. So mission start. Alright, so when the map starts, dialogue, start a conversation between actors, start the intro convo between Sarah Castle and the player character, and we can have them face each other just to be cool. Alright, we're also going to show them where the hostages are, so we're going to move the camera to the hostage, and I'm going to set the hostage to the team Shadowrunners so that when the camera is set on the hostage, the Shadowrunners actually see what's going on instead of just the fog of war. The next step is to create another trigger. Alright, and this time when the conversation ends, we're going to set the camera back to our Shadowrunner. We're going to put a waypoint on the hostage so that even though the hostage will return to the fog of war, we're also going to change the actor's team. So even though we're going to hide the hostage again, we're going to put a waypoint on the hostage so that the Shadowrunners know where they're going. You don't have to do that. If you want the Shadowrunners to have to search around the map and find them, you can just leave the waypoint off. But I'm just trying to show you how you can do something a little fancier than that. Alright, and so we're going to change her team back to civilian. So she will return to the fog of war with a waypoint on her. Alright, now we don't want that waypoint just to sit on her. So once the Shadowrunners collect her, we're going to go to waypoint, clear waypoint from actor. We're going to clear the waypoint from the hostage, and we're going to add a waypoint to a prop. To do that, we have to give this prop a tag, and we call it the chopper. And then we'll go to waypoints, set a waypoint on a prop. Alright, prop nearest to the hostage with the tag name Choppa. Alright, so now when the runner comes in here and collects the hostage, the waypoint will be removed from the hostage and set on the chopper where we are trying to get the hostage back to. Alright, and lastly, we will have text over the actor. Get to the chopper. Alright, so now our hostage is going to tell us the next step of the mission. So we save the hostage, and then the hostage says, here's what you have to do next. You have to get back over here. Okay. And then finally, if the mission is successful, we're going to have the screen say that the mission is successful. And we're going to do it in GM text, and we're going to display it for 7 seconds. And then we're going to have the camera fade out. There we go, camera fade out. All right. And then we'll go ahead, copy. We'll do the same thing on a mission failure. Except it will say mission failure. All right. And just to spice things up a little bit, I'll put a bad guy in so you can see what happens when we have a bad guy in there. There we go. Level 1, Lone Star Captain. Not a lot of bad guys protecting the president, but I don't want this to take forever. Alright. So, save. We're going to test out the mission. Remember, hire main character. Alright, here we go. Let's hope everything works. First things first, we hire our Shadowrunners, and we start the mission. Alright. There's our hostage. It's telling us what we need to do. We're going to accept the mission, and bam. You'll notice that the hostage has disappeared because she's no longer on our team, and we now, when we move, have these limits. This is how far I can move in a turn, because we are in combat with the bad guy that we have yet to find, but we're still in combat. So we're going to go find the bad guy. I wonder where he could be. Oh, how lucky of us. Alright, and this is a very simplified combat. I haven't equipped my Shadowrunners with anything, even looked at their stats or anything like that. We're just going to... Whew, that was fast. Alright, so now we're out of combat. You can actually save the hostage in combat. What will happen is the hostage won't attack anybody, and no one will attack the hostage because the teams are set to be neutral to civilians. So if you want to have the hostage get attacked after you save her or during the mission, you have to come up with a team and set that team to be hostile towards the hostages. Alright, mission successful. And any second now the camera should fade out. There we go. There we go. Camera fade out. How neat is that? All right. If you have any comments or questions, please email me at contact@shadowrunrebuilt.com. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any suggestions for what the next video might be, email me. Post it in the comments below. Thank you. Please subscribe. I hear that's what people do on YouTube.